Hi, my name is Srinivas. I am manager of VLSIGuru Training Institute. This video will give you a overview of VLSI Internship and our training program that is offered at the VLSIGuru Training Institute. VLSIGuru offers internship and training in various aspects including VLSI backend, VLSI frontend and embedded systems. So this video is to give you a good or complete overview of the various aspects of the internship and training program offered at the VLSIGuru Institute. So this will be the agenda for this presentation. We'll talk about internship and training overview. We'll also later we'll talk about VLSI internship training frequently asked questions, then corresponding questions specific to Mtech projects. Then we'll talk about prerequisites. Then we'll talk about the admission criteria. Then we'll talk about duration, fee, and session timings. Then the course registration. Then course highlights. Then we'll talk about trainer profiles. Then we'll talk about student guidelines. Things that student has to follow from their side, and the course material shared for various courses, and the practical aspects and the projects involved as part of the VLSI internship and VLSI training, and job opportunities in VLSI, and the post-course completion support, and the various courses that are offered at VLSIGuru other than VLSI internship and VLSI training. Then some clarifications and office timings and how to reach those kind of things would be answered in the last slide. So now let us talk about the VLSI internship and training overview. VLSIGuru Training Institute in partnership with SOCDV Technologies Private Limited is offering a 10 months internship programming in VLSI and embedded system. These two are two different courses. VLSI is a separate course, embedded systems is a separate course. We as an institute offer internship in both VLSI and embedded systems. Now, what is the difference between internship and training? We'll discuss as we go forward in this presentation. This video will more specifically talk about VLSI only. Embedded systems specific training and internship has been covered in another video. Now talking about VLSI front-end internship, I'm sure by the time you have at this stage of your career where you are looking for an internship, you would be aware of the VLSI training flow. VLSI design flow. So the VLSI design flow starts from specifications of a design, then higher level architecture, then low level architecture, then specifications for the low level architecture, then design implementation, that is what we call as RTL coding, then RTL integration, then various types of verification, functional verification. We can also call, there are various other types of verification, formal verification, then timing verification. Of course, all this comes after synthesis, STA, then PNR, placement and routing. Then you have DFT, then we have custom layout. Then we have physical verification. Then we have post-silicon validation. Now, if you ask me, do I need to really learn everything in VLSI? Will I be learning everything as part of the VLSI internship? No, you don't need to learn. It takes, even at my experience where I'm a 12-year experienced engineer, I don't know most of this flow. I'm only having expertise in one specific domain, maybe little bit expertise in RTL integration. So generally any fresher, any intern who is looking out for a job after their graduation, BTech and MTech, it is not expected that they are proficient with all these aspects of the flow. In fact, VLSI industry has a specific job domain, specific job for every domain. I mean, you will find a formal verification engineer, a GLS engineer, a functional verification engineer, RTL integration engineer, designer, RTL designer, architect. So if I go that way, there will be in industry, in VLSI industry, there will be close to 15 to 20 different profiles, each of them doing one of these aspects. Very few of them doing all of them. I mean, let me repeat, very few engineers do more than two of above items. I mean, you will find very few people who will do RTL integration also, who will do functional verification also. You will find very few people who will do functional verification and placement and routing. In fact, you may not find anyone unless the company is very small. If you go to any bigger companies, Qualcomm, Broadcom, Intel, Cisco, anywhere, you will find a dedicated engineer for every domain. So what does it mean for a graduate? That means you don't really need to learn everything. So then why do we need to really understand VLSI design flow? You need to understand because you need to find your interest. Being a big flows, because someone told you that learn system Verilog, you should not learn system Verilog. Someone told you that you need to learn UVM, you don't learn UVM. UVM and system Verilog form very small aspect of VLSI, very small aspect of VLSI. In fact, where do they come? Somewhere here. Functional verification itself is one of the aspects of the flow. In that, SVUVM holds some significance. Because someone said system Verilog UVM has job opportunities, you should not learn. I mean, you should not be just sticking yourself to SVUVM. So that is where a good understanding of VLSI design flow helps you figure out what is your area of interest among these. Let's say if you talk about higher level architecture and lower level architecture, as a fresher, as a 1 year, 2 year experienced engineer, you really won't be having that level of knowledge. Because architecture is a very important aspect of any design. Any small mistake that happens in the architecture, any small flop you missed, any synchronizer you miss, anything you go wrong, it can lead to the complete failure of the design. So those kind of jobs are not given to the freshers and entry level engineers. So that is where you need to find where, as a fresher, where do I find the opportunities? Generally, opportunities can be found in design implementation, RTL integration, functional verification, formal verification, synthesis, STA, placement routing. I mean, all these aspects you can try for the jobs. So do you see only SVUM being highlighted here? No. There are many other domains where jobs are available in the industry. It's just that you will find many people getting trained in system Verilog and UVM. You think that there are jobs only in SVUVM. You will find many people getting placed in physical design domain. This is what we call as physical domain, physical design. So then, I mean, what is the benefit of learning the VLSI design flow? I mean, as part of the internship or as part of your college coursework, if you take some simple design, take a simple design, learn the complete flow. What does it mean? Understand the architecture. Just for a simple design, come up with the architecture. What could be the simplest design? Take a ALU, arithmetic logic unit, come up with the specification, come up with the architecture, come up with the design implementation, RTL integration, do the functional verification, do the synthesis, do this complete flow. So while doing that, you need to question yourself, what is my area of interest? Am I interested in implementing the RTL? Am I finding interest in the other aspects of the VLSI flow? That is what will drive you in choosing the right domain. Again, I am repeating, you should not try to gain expertise in everything. It will take at least 15-20 years for you to gain expertise in the complete flow, which is not a feasible option for a fresher. So what is that you can do in limited time of 6 months or 1 year time? You can choose one specific domain, like timing verification, synthesis, placement routing, and try to gain expertise in that domain. So this presentation, what we are going to do today in this video, will help you give little clarity about this. What are the different various courses that are offered at our institute, and how internship at VLSIGuru Institute helps you address these things is what we are going to do in this video. So just to summarize, what is that we discussed overall here? We discussed about a VLSI design flow. We understood that it has got around 2 to 6, 17. There are around 16 steps. It could be in fact more. So you need to work on a simple design. Take a ALU or any other design. And I'm sure being in a college, you will have access to some of the flows, mentor graphics flow or synopsis flow or cadence flow. Take that flow, all the tools. Just start from this architecture level till custom layout, implement everything. So while doing that flow, figure out what is that really interests you. Just because someone said SVUVM is good, don't pursue a course in SVUVM. Okay. So I hope you'll take it as an assignment and work on that. Now coming back to our presentation. So VLSIGuru is offering an internship in VLSI. So internship is divided into VLSI front end and VLSI back end. So what is VLSI front end, VLSI back end here? Starting from here to here, whatever we are doing is called as front end. From here to here, whatever we are doing it is called as back end. So the term back end does not mean that it's a low end job. Front end doesn't mean that high end job. I mean, if you go to some other companies, back end roles mean some low quality works. It's not so here. Both of them have a equal importance. In some cases, back end job can be very important role, important aspect. Overall, in summary, you should not go by front end or back end. I mean, it should be mostly driven by what is your area of interest among all the flow. Where do you find? So in summary, we don't want to offer internship on all the 13 flows. We can't say that internship in specification, internship in architecture, internship in functional verification, internship in PNR. Rather, we divide the internship into two aspects: VLSI front-end internship, VLSI back-end internship. So both for an internship, the duration will be 10 months in both the cases. What do we cover in the front-end internship? We of course talk about all these aspects. As part of the internship training, we will be doing everything, but more specifically, we will be focused in functional verification. Why functional verification? The nature of work is such that, I mean, the way design works is the design and integration is mostly done by IP reuse. All this involves IP reuse, means already developed designs will be used to implement the bigger designs. So you don't really find many job requirements for the RTL design development. It doesn't mean that there are no jobs, there will be, but relatively more jobs will be there for functional verification role. So that is where, as a training institute, we focus on a domain where we find more students approaching us. I mean, if I take a year, if 1,000 students approach us, among them in the front end, if 1,000 people approach us for training, around 950 students will be approaching us for functional verification. Maybe 30-40 will be approaching us for RTL coding. So that is where, as an institute, we focus more specifically on functional verification training. Now, what do we train as part of the functional verification? We teach Verilog, we teach advanced digital design, we teach analog design basics. That is as required. I mean, assumption is that through our past experience, we have seen that students who join the courses at our institute, except for few students, many of them doesn't have good fundamentals in Verilog, doesn't have good fundamentals in digital design, doesn't have good fundamentals in analog design. What do we mean by fundamentals? If I ask a student to explain setup time, they really can't explain. If I ask a student to implement a 3-stage pipeline logic, they are really confused about what is pipeline. If I ask a student to explain what is synchronizer, again they are confused. This is what we call as basics. Basics are the really foundation blocks for the whole VLSI. If you don't know these concepts, There's no point of doing these two things. Unless you are really perfect with these things, there's no point of doing any course in these things. That is where we try to include these things, but we don't make it a compulsory for student to do. It's fine, the student has to decide. We can only, as an institute, we suggest that this is the courses you should opt for. Then how do we suggest them? What we do is we conduct an evaluation test. Based on that evaluation test, it's a 3 hours test covering Verilog, digital design and analog design. So based on the student's performance in this evaluation test, we figure out if the student is comfortable with these topics, then we ask them to directly move to the advanced aspects of the functional verification. Otherwise, there will be a course that will be offered at a nominal fee. We suggest the student to go with this, then followed by these things and followed by these things. So this is what we'll be covering in 10 months. Now, if you ask me, does this take 10 months to learn? No. 10 months is actually divided into 2 stages. That is where I'll use one more slide. Actually earlier we used to offer it as a 12 months, but we have just made it 10. It could be 10 or 12 based on the student's requirement. At the end of this internship, intern will be issued a training completion certificate and 1 year trainee certificate from the SOC DB Technologies. And how does it work? Generally, this internship is divided into 2 aspects. Learning phase, that will last for 4.5 months. Also called as training phase. Because as we have seen, most of the students who approach us for internship, they really don't have required fundamentals, required knowledge in Verilog, system Verilog to implement their own designs, to verify the given design. So this training phase, which will last for 4.5 months, 4 to 4.5 months, will help address this. Then comes the application phase. So during application phase, what do we do? Intern will be working on industry standard project with trainer guidance. Same project student can use as a Mtech or a BTech project. Now, what do we do in the learning phase? Intern will undergo, it's 3 months. It could be 3 months or it could be 4.5 months based on what courses the student opts for. Intern will undergo 3 months of exhaustive training on advanced digital design, Verilog, system Verilog and UVM basics. And also it will cover standard protocols like AXI, AHB, Ethernet, MAC, etc. Intern will be working on multiple industry standard projects based on above protocols using system Verilog and UVM. This is what intern will do during the learning phase. During application phase, whatever concepts intern has learned here, he will be applying on one complex project. What can be a complex project? Let's go further to that. During the learning phase, that is during the training phase, intern will be working on some simple design like Ethernet switch or Ethernet loopback design functional verification, AXI verification IP development, memory controller design functional verification, AHB UVC development. These can change probably for a different batch, it might change, but the nature of the projects will be similar. What are the kind of projects that we can help? Intern will do in application phase. That is, what is the application phase? That is the remaining 5.5 months or 5.5 to 7.5 months based on how much time they are willing to spend. Or it could be 3 months also. Let's say they don't have 10 months, they have only 8 months. It will be 4 months and 4 months. So during application phase, what intern is supposed to do? By the time the intern has completed this training phase, they are supposed to be proficient with Verilog, system Verilog, UVM basics. I'm again repeating, it's UVM basics, not UVM advanced. Intern or a graduate is not expected to be perfect with complete UVM. We teach enough UVM that he or she will be able to develop a basic UVM environment. And of course, digital design and analog design concepts. So what does this proficiency will give? It gives them enough confidence for them to start on their own design. Let's say if I give PCI Express data link layer, it should leave them at a stage where they're able to develop the RTL for PCI Express and develop the test bench for the same. So this is what is expected of an intern. If they have done this phase of the course properly with as per the trainer's guidance, if they have completed all the assignments, I'm sure they will be in a position where they will be able to do these things with minimal guidance from the mentor. So we'll talk about all these things as we go forward in the video. So I hope it gives you a good overview of front-end internship. Similarly, VLSIGuru also offers a internship in VLSI backend. As discussed, duration will be for 10 months. What does course content involves? Course content doesn't involve everything. Intern has to choose one of these domains. Intern has to choose whether they want, he has to do internship in physical design, DFT, synthesis and STR, custom layout. One of them he or she will choose. Again, same process will be involved. They will undergo a training for 4.5 months. In those cases, they are expected to be proficient with specific to the topic they have chosen. It won't be Verilog, System Verilog, UVM. Of course, this will be basic. Digital design, analog design, they anyway have to know. And other than this, Unix is some scripting language. So once they have learned this, got that proficiency, we will give a project to them. I mean, they can choose any design. They can work on this specific aspect of the internship. Let's say they have learned physical design. So they will be provided with a complex design which has got some lakhs of gates. So they need to work on the PNR flow for the complete design, starting from the synthesis till the time they generate the physical design GDS2, PNR specific GDS2. DFT, same thing. They should be comfortable with all the aspects of DFT, ATPG, BIST, scan, JTAG, all those aspects they should be comfortable. And they should be comfortable developing their own patterns, their own JTAG related architecture, everything for a given design. Same thing for synthesis and STA, same thing for custom layout. So again, I'm repeating, we are not expecting intern to gain knowledge on everything. Learning one of them, just being familiar with the complete flow. I mean, what happens in specification, what happens in higher level architecture, what happens in low level architecture. This top level overview of this, along with that, gaining perfection in one of these aspects is what is expected out of a graduate. I'm not just talking about an intern here. I'm talking about a graduate, a BTech or MTech graduate who passes out of the college. When they are looking out for a job, what does employer look for? Employer doesn't expect them to be perfect with everything. They just want the graduate to be having a basic overview of this flow. Maybe if having some familiarity, little deep familiarity with any subject, any of these aspects is what is expected. Again, it is not really expected that you will be expert in SV, you will be expert in UVM, but of course, developing that proficiency expertise is always adds lot value addition. Now coming back to the presentation, we also offer internship in embedded systems. That is again same thing, 10 months. The course content, of course, you can see at our website. You go to our website, go to courses, embedded systems training, you go. Our internship curriculum will also be pretty much similar to this one. Again, it will involve all the aspects of embedded system. Okay, since our discussion for this video is not specific in embedded systems, I am not talking about embedded systems. But if you want to learn more about VLSI internship thing, this is the course which will be similar to VLSI internship, front-end training for freshers. This is what we will be focusing in the initial 4.5 months of training. So to get more knowledge about this, you can go to the syllabus. As you see, it's a 19 weeks, which comes to around 4 to 4.5 months. 4.5 months. Fee is 24,000, but if you don't include Verilog, it will be 19,000. I mean, if you are already perfect with Verilog, it won't be 24,000, it will be 19,000. Now, where do you find the syllabus? VLSI flow, SOC design and verification concepts, advanced digital design concept, Verilog, system Verilog, verification IP development, ASIC verification, essential UVM, RTL debug concepts, Unix, scripting, some soft skill training, and the course assignment. These are all what we will cover in the front-end internship. That is during the initial 4.5 months. Then what you will do during later 5.5 months, as we said, you will take a design of your own, your choice, you'll be working on with a mentor guidance. The same thing intern can use as a BTech or a MTech project. The similar flow will be followed for backend training also. If you go to backend, you'll see that there is a physical design training. Again, you will see that the course has been framed in such a way that it covers the required aspects of the backend as well, like VLSI flow, training on VLSI flow, advanced digital design concepts, Unix, scripting, and the other PNR related aspects has been covered. So when does the batches start? Internship and training batches start once every 6 weeks. If you see this, if you add up these things, 13th May, 24th June, which are 6 weeks apart. Only here you will see that they are 4 weeks apart, because this is the time students generally pass out of the college and they will be looking for internships more frequently. I mean, we will find more students joining around that time. So this has been kept with a 4 weeks gap. Otherwise, all the courses will be done with a 6 weeks gap. I mean, every new batch starts with a 6 weeks break. What does it mean? At any point of time, there will be multiple batches of internship, multiple batches of VLSI training, which includes VLSI front-end and VLSI back-end training will be happening. So even if you join in between, we have a provision where we can cover up the missed session, or also there's a provision where you can repeat the course anytime in the next 1 year without paying any additional fee. Okay. Now, who is the target audience? Of course, as you see, it is targeted for MTech second semester students seeking for VLSI internship as part of the course curriculum. Most of the universities, most of the education boards these days have internship as a compulsory part of their curriculum. So for that reason, we are offering, and this is being offered in partnership with SOCDV Technologies. So what does it mean? You will get the internship completion certificate from the SOCDV Technologies. And it is also targeted for BTech, MTech graduates who have completed their graduation and they are looking for seeking career opportunities in VLSI. And they really don't know where to start. Someone has told that do a course in system Verilog, they end up coming to us asking for system Verilog. So what we suggest is you go through the complete flow, understand what is the domain in that complete flow interests you, then pursue a course in that. Okay, now we'll talk about internship frequently asked questions. First question is why internship is important and how internship will help with career. So we'll address this specific question in the next slide because it's a long answer. I mean, why you should pursue. Probably after going through this, answer will be more relevant for you. I mean, you will be able to understand the answer well. So hence it has been addressed in the next slide. Now, why should I do an internship in VLSIGuru? Why should I do an internship? Generally, all the programs at VLSIGuru are process oriented. I mean, everything has a process. The day where we start the admissions, the way we approach a student, the way we register a student to the course, the way a course is planned, and the way we conduct the sessions, way we evaluate the student, way we provide placement support. Everything is process oriented and it is affordable. I mean, in general, you will see that any course you look for, let's say if you are looking for a course in physical design, just an example. One of the institutes in Bangalore will offer that for 1.5 lakhs. One of the institutes will offer for 90,000. One of the institute will offer for 73,000. But what does VLSIGuru will offer it? 26,000 plus tax. Now, are we running a charity here? No. We still make profit. There is no charity here. Institute VLSIGuru is not set up to run as a social organization. It is run to make a business. It is a business and it is run for profit. So it is that much that is what it costs. It's just that if you ask them why you charge 1.5 lakhs, you ask them what does it really cost for you to charge 1.5 lakhs? Just come back to us with the answer what they have. I don't have any logic why someone should charge 1.5 lakhs, why someone should charge 90,000. Because tool doesn't cost so much. Tool probably costs 7 lakhs a year. Now we have 100 students a year. How much will make? Into 26. 26 lakhs minus 7 lakhs. So 19 lakhs is what is left. So I have to give it to the trainer and we have to keep some money for the institute. That's simple calculation we have. So what does it mean? We really don't do any compromise on quality of training. Just that we don't really want to work at 200% margin, or we don't want to run an institute at 500% margin. We are happy to run it at a margin where we are happy with the profit we are making. I mean, imagine what this guy would be making. Imagine what this guy would make. Imagine what this guy would make. If we are making a profit at 26,000, what this guy would make. So please, when you approach them, ask, why do you need to charge 1.5 lakhs? The same applies to all our other courses. If I take system Verilog, we offer it at 12,000 plus tax. Some institute will charge you 60,000. Some will charge you 40,000. Now again ask them, why it should cost you so much? Here also we still make profit. There is no charity. I am repeating again, institute is not run as a charity. We make profit in every course we do. Just that we have our own ways of cost reduction. As we go forward in the video, we'll talk about how do we, what is that really ensures that we offer this course at a lower cost. It is affordable and industry relevant training. Why do we offer industry relevant training? We are all working professionals. We are a group of, we are a group of 10 plus trainers. For that matter, I can get another 10 people because I am working in the industry for 12 years. I work as a senior director of verification in one of the design service company. I have many contacts. So for me, most easiest aspect of whole running training institute is talk to a fellow employee, convince him to come to the institute and give guidance to the student, do a training program. It's one of the things that I can do easily. It's just that matter of motivating him to come to the institute and provide training, offer the training to the students. So that is where we have the flexibility where we can get people who are working in the industry and who can come and do the training over weekends. Now what happens in some other institutes? If you go to some institute, I've just come across a student a few weeks back who had come to our office for an interview. He's joined the training in somewhere around May, June 2015. He tried for job. He didn't get job. Then they offered him around 8,000 or 10,000 per month and he's doing training. Do you think those kind of people will be motivated to train you? No, of course no. Because they themselves are demotivated. And this is the kind of training you will find in many of the training institutes. It is not really appropriate for me to tell you which institutes do that. I'm sure if you travel, go to the institutes, talk to them, you'll definitely come across that. So don't really get into these kind of things. Don't get trapped into these kind of things where you are getting trained by a person who is not able to find job. Because he is not able to find a job, he ends up as a trainer working at 8,000 or 10,000 or 15,000 a month. And you definitely don't want to spend money to get trained by a person who doesn't get job. That is where we have a trainers coming from the industry, and since we work in the industry, we know what all aspects are happening. And we try our best to ensure that we train you to the current requirements. If I take one example, what is meant by industry relevant training? If you ask me 10 years back, which is the best training in whole India, automatically answer is CDAC. Why? They were doing very well with teaching digital design, analog design, VLSI flow and Verilog. Now what happened in these 10 years? They never got themselves updated to system Verilog and UVM. Not just system Verilog UVM, the complete VLSI flow. They never got themselves updated. That is where all our institutes, even VLSIGuru came up, because there is a gap in their training. So we are able to fill that gap. So that is where we keep ourselves relevant to the current industry requirements. And VLSIGuru is completely transparent in policies. If you go to many institutes, let's say I don't want to name the institute, you go to any institute, you look for the fees. You will see that at least 50% of the institutes won't put up their fees. In fact, not even 50%, 70 to 80% of the institutes, you will not see how much fees they will charge. Whereas if you go to our website, you just go to course schedule, you will find everything about the courses, what is the start date, what is when they will be offered, what is the fee, everything will be put up. So we are very transparent in this. I mean, I'm not saying that this is what we mean by transparency. We mean transparency by this as well. We have put up every student's phone number on website. You can go to this thing. You will find that every student, like last batch we have done in February 2017. After that, of course, we started a batch on 1st April 2017. We still did not get time to update those numbers. So you can talk to any of the student. You take any phone number, you call up the student, they'll give you a feedback. If it is good, bad, whatever it is, they'll give you whatever feedback they have. So we don't tell them that please give a good feedback, please give a bad feedback. We don't tell. It is up to them. What they feel about the course after attending the course is what they will tell you. So do you find any institute doing this kind of thing? You go to any institute, ask them to share 20 phone numbers, just see what is the response you get. We are not like that. We don't really want to deceive a student to join our institute. That is where you can find every student's phone number. You go to any batch like we offered in 16th April 2016. That is 1 year back. So you will find these numbers. You again call them. So this is where we maintain our transparency. I mean, these are some of the reasons why you should consider at least coming to our office and talking to us. Okay, next question. Since it's an internship, will the intern be paid during internship? Of course, no, because we don't have any active source of income that you will be employed in that job and through that will make money. No. So you will not be paid during the internship. Rather, you will be paid for the initial part of the training you are going to undergo. Generally, as I said, internship will involve two aspects: learning phase, that is the training phase, and the application phase. So you will be paying the fee for the learning phase, and this will be charged on a training basis. Whatever fees you see for the various training programs that we offer in our course schedule, the same fee you will be paying. How internship is different from training? I'm sure by now you got the answer. This is the difference: application phase. So how is it different? I mean, generally people who come for training will be ready for the job at the end of 4 months. If they do the preparation as per the trainer's guidance. Let's say they are focused on some other things in the life while they are doing training, they won't be able to do the training properly. In those cases, instead of 4.5 months, it may go to 6 months. Instead of 6 months, it may go to 1 year. So leaving that other aspects apart, if they do perfectly, 4.5 months will be sufficient for any graduate, BTech or Mtech graduate, to be job ready, and they can start looking out for job. So when they are looking out for job, I'm sure they don't want to really work on these things. So that is where training will be different from the internship. Whereas for an intern, what is the case? A Mtech intern who is in the 3rd semester comes to our institute in July month. He is available till next year May. So he doesn't really have to look out for a job except for attending the campus interviews. So that is where they will have time to work on this application phase. In fact, they can use this as a Mtech project. So that is where internship and training are different. Otherwise, in all the aspects, training and internship are same. In fact, all the interns will undergo the training what Mtech or BTech graduates are also undergoing. Only thing is application phase where an intern will be working on a given design with a mentor guidance is what will make the internship different from training. Now VLSIGuru Institute is the next question. VLSIGuru Institute is a training center. How they can offer internship? Will I get a certificate? Please read this. That is where we have partnered with a company called as SOCDV Technologies Private Limited. So the internship certificates training will be provided as part of VLSIGuru. The internship related project will be done as part of the SOCDV Technologies. So what is the criteria for issuing a certificate? Just because you came and paid the fee, just because you attended 4.5 months, of course, doesn't make you eligible for getting the certificate. What is the eligibility. 40% of the course assignment completion is the minimum criteria for issuing an internship completion certificate. Unless you do that, you will not get certificate. But your question is, what if they are very difficult? I'm not able to do. You will get guidance at every stage. All that we need from a student is two things. We are really not looking for a very high IQ student or very intelligent student. All that is expected from student is two things: right attitude, willingness to put effort, willingness to work hard. Any student who is willing, who has these two things, will be able to complete the training with the trainer guidance. So students will be getting all the guidance in completing the assignments, working on assignments. In fact, we'll have a dedicated assignment solving sessions as well. So I hope this is clear to you. Next question: how this internship is different from an internship at a product company like Intel and Qualcomm? I'm sure many of the students who are working in who are doing their Mtech in VIT, Manipal, RV college, they get internship from product companies. The question will be, how is it different? Generally, my observation had been, when an intern joins a product company, intern does not undergo the essential training required to do the job. They are not really provided. I mean, if you go to Intel probably doesn't have 2 months time to give you training on SVUVM. They don't really have 3 months of time to provide you training on everything. They probably give you 1 week, maybe at max 2 weeks time, and it won't be dedicated effort because everyone is busy with their own things. What they will do in that case is, they will give you some training on some small aspect of the flow. Like, what does it mean? Like, how to run a regression, how to do the analysis of test case. If some test case is failing, how to analyze a test case failure is what intern will be trained. So when intern joins a specific team, in general, they will be assigned with some junk work. I mean, I'm not saying that in most of the cases it is junk work. Of course, there will be exceptions. In some cases, I have seen interns doing a very good work. But 9 out of 10 cases, interns will be end up doing some work which really doesn't give them lot of scope for learning purpose. So that is where I would feel our training internship program might help, where we are focusing on teaching all the aspects of VLSI flow. We are choosing one specific domain, and we are trying to give expertise on that specific domain to the intern. That is what probably you may not get at a big product companies, because they are not a training institute. They are not dedicatedly meant for internship. They just want to keep you, and they probably want to give you some specific aspect of the flow and ensure that you just do that specific job properly. That's all. They don't want to really teach you the complete VLSI flow. They don't want to make you expert in SV or UVM. They don't want to make you expert in functional verification, unless they really have a long-term plan to make you an employee of the company. So that's a different thing. Now, coming back to the first question that we were talking about, why internship is important. Internship will make a fresher industry ready with the completely assignment oriented program. What do you mean by assignment oriented program? I mean, we as an institute, we try to take positives from various aspects of the learnings. I mean, like when we say assignments, if you go to US, most of the courses in US, the MS, BS, all those courses are all assignment oriented. Of course, even in colleges in India, we do have assignment oriented, but we really don't take assignment seriously. Whereas if you go to US, the course grading, everything is also depends upon assignments. So that is where we have created for VLSI front-end training, there are around 70 plus assignments. Back-end training has around 40 plus detailed assignments. Now, what is the quality of assignments? Let's just see. I mean, what is the kind of assignments do we have? If we go to this, we maintain assignments for every course. If I go to SV, System Verilog, if I go to one of the assignments, let's say System Verilog class, the assignment will be around 10 pages. It's just one of the things. I mean, probably other assignment could be very simple. Let's say if I go to operators or arrays, it could be a very small assignment. But if I go to class, it talks about all the aspects of the class. Then it talks about simple examples with the proper guidance on each one. It's not going to be one-page assignment where we just say do this. We give you guidance what you are supposed to do, what is expected, everything, what concepts you are supposed to learn. That is how assignments have been created. Now, anytime you need any guidance in the assignments, you will be having a mentor who will clarify your doubts immediately. So then what is that you really need? Again, it goes back to the same topic, these two things. You need a right attitude where you should look at the things positively. That you should not come to the training or internship just to get job. You should do not join a training program just to get job. You should rather join a training program to empower yourself. That automatically will get you the job. If you go to the VLSI industry, you will find many times industry is not able to find the right people. What do you mean by right people? It's not BTech or Mtech people. It's about people with the right skill set. So this is what you will gain by doing a program, by keeping a right attitude, by working hard. You empower yourself where automatically you will end up getting a job. We have started our training institute in 2012. Since 2012, now in 2017, we have never seen a student who has gone without job when he has these two things in a right manner. Any student who has right attitude and who is willing to work hard, we have never seen him going back without a job so far. So all you need is a positive attitude and a willingness to work hard. You will automatically get a job. If not today, another 3 months, another 6 months, 1 year. I mean, things can change dynamically, right? Today, now in April 2017, you may get it in 1 month. Maybe next 1 year later, there may be a recession. It may take you really 1 year time. So you just have to ensure that you have the right attitude. You need to plan your expenses. You need to think positively that if I continue to learn, I'm sure I'll get a job. There will always be a need for skilled people wherever you go, whichever domain you are in. So if you have this right attitude, you'll always get a job. So we are talking about the assignments. So why did we talk about assignments? We are talking about assignments to tell you that how we will make a fresher industry ready. So once you work on this assignment, automatically you're empowered to on all these aspects. Assignments don't just cover system Verilog language. It covers protocols. It covers verification IP development. It covers industry standard project. Once you do all these assignments by yourself or with mentor guidance, you're already prepared. So what does it do? What does this internship really does? Gives exposure to a fresher to all the required aspects. Brings intern on par with a 3-year experienced engineer. Training will cover all below aspects. Verilog for design and verification, advanced digital design, analog design concepts, system Verilog for functional verification, UVM basics. Again, I'm not talking about all UVM advanced aspects. UVM basics, debug concepts, how to debug a failures, how to debug a design issues, how to debug test bench issues. We will also intern will get basic exposure to scripting, Unix operating system, some soft skills, how to talk, how to send a mails, those kind of things, how to create a document. All those kind of skills also will be taught as part of the internship program. Now, when I say, I'm sure one of the things you have noticed is 3-year experience. So when we say a 3-year or 4-year, even a 10-year experienced engineer in the industry doesn't really do anything anything really big. Just that they do the given job properly, given a specification, and they will be, as you grow with the experience, you gain more capability to learn the specification easily. You gain more capability to develop a test bench easily. You are more capable at developing test cases, scenarios. Just that you are more capable. That's all. You are not really implementing some new formulas or new technologies. Whatever is there, you are doing it more efficiently. So that is what it makes you. This whole process of assignment, everything makes you more efficient. That is what brings you on par with a 3-year experience. This is all given you work with a right attitude and right hard work. Just that you completed course doesn't make you it. You need to work with a proper attitude. You complete all assignments. You plan your career, plan your preparation, everything. Now let's go to the next slide. So Mtech projects. Mtech second semester students can pursue Mtech project as part of the VLSI internship. I mean, whoever has completed second semester and going to the third semester, they join our internship program. They can pursue Mtech project itself as part of VLSI internship. Our company, affiliated company, and our institute will provide you the required certificate for the Mtech project. Initial 4.5 months of training will enable them with all required skill set, including hardware description languages, verification languages, protocols, and multiple hands-on projects. So this 4.5 months will enable them. Then remaining 5 to 6 months should be used for working on a Mtech project with a mentor guidance. Mtech project is also offered as a separate aspect outside internship. I mean, someone who hasn't joined internship and they want to do Mtech project, how they can do? We also have a separate Mtech project program. Institute works with more than 50 working professionals to connect students for project guidance. Fee collected is directly paid to the mentor. Generally, what is that we want to do as part of this? As part of this, what is that we are trying to do? We are trying to connect students to the industry working professionals. Many times we have seen cases where students choose projects and they really don't know whom to go for their doubts. I mean, what happens in colleges? There will be a professor, there will be assistant professor, associate professors, but there is one professor and there are 30 students. And the professor may not have really the complete expertise on chosen topic. Let's say we are talking about low power verification, and the professor guide doesn't know what is low power verification, what is UPF, what is CPF. So do you think guide will be able to give the right guidance? No. That is where we are, as an institute, we are trying to set up a platform where when a student approaches us, we are trying to find a right professional who is working in the industry, just connect them. And we really are not expecting any commission or anything out of it. Of course, in a long term, it helps our institutes. It helps us grow big. There's always something, we do few things because there's some other benefit for us. Now, how does it work? How does this Mtech project and the fee works? If 10% work is done by the mentor and 90% is done by the student, fee will be 2,000 rupees plus tax. If 50% of the work is done by mentor and 50% by the student, 7,000 plus tax. If 90% of the work is done by mentor, means what? Everything is done by mentor. What is student is doing is only learning how to run the test, how to run the environment, and how to show the results. Then he will be charged the full fee, 12,000 plus tax. But fee is also subject to change for more complex project. Let's say we choose very complex project. You say offer me at 12,000. No, it may be little more. But we try to be very reasonable in what we charge. And what, as said, if you are assigned with a external mentor, fee, you talk to the mentor. I mean, institute is only connecting you to the mentor, and institute will take care of any help you need in the flow. Otherwise, this whole thing happens between trainer and the student. The next thing, what are the prerequisites for a internship, taking up internship? If I talk about again two things, VLSI front end and VLSI back end. From a VLSI front end, it is expected that students should be familiar with, intern should be good with digital design concepts, good with Verilog, good with Unix and scripting. Now, why these are important? I mean, you may be seeing all the jobs are for system Verilog and UVM, but all the VLSI, everything, VLSI digital, unlock, everything is driven by the common concepts across this. If I go to advanced digital design training, what is that you really need to know there? You just have listed here. If you are comfortable with majority of the things you are going to see in this list, then you really don't need to do any course in this. Let's say you are good with numbering system, you are good with Karnaugh maps, timing diagrams, pipelining, flops, latches, various types of flops, counters, FIFO, whatever you see here. If you are comfortable with all the topics, you really don't need to do a course in this. Otherwise, you should definitely consider doing the basic course. That is where we conduct, as I said, we conduct one evaluation test to know what is your familiarity with the subject. Based on that, we suggest whether should you go for digital design course, should you go for Verilog, should you go for Unix training, should you go for scripting basic training. So based on that, we will suggest. I mean, these are only prerequisites. Don't think that I don't see system Verilog, I don't see UVM, I don't see other topics. These are the prerequisite. What is that is expected. Even if you don't know these things, that is still fine. We'll have a basics training program where we cover these things, and this will be offered at a nominal fee. Now coming to backend, again, you should be good with the digital design concepts, VLSI technology concepts like MOSFET, CMOS, FinFET, those kind of concepts you should be comfortable with. You should be comfortable with Unix because all the industry work happens in a Unix platform. Then you should also be comfortable with the TCL programming. You see here it is Perl and Python, Perl or Python, here it is TCL. So again, in backend also we conduct one evaluation test. Based on that, we decide if the trainee intern is familiar with these concepts or he or she has to undergo training in these things as well. Based on that, we suggest the intern to do these required courses. Let's say intern says that no, I will learn by myself. We are fine with that as well. It's just that we give the suggestion. It is for the intern or trainee to decide whether they want to do it or not. Next, admission criteria. Students are not differentiated based on percentages. No scholarship offered using percentage criteria. If you go to many institutes, at least some institutes, you will see that they will charge 1 lakh. Then they will say that you take an exam. If you score 80%, we will give you 20,000 scholarship. If you score 90%, we'll give you 30,000 internship. These are all gimmicks to make you join into the training program, to make you feel little happy that I am able to reduce my training cost. But still training cost will be how much? 80,000 or 70,000 or 90,000. Is it really what you want to spend to learn a language and to learn a protocol and to do one project? What are you really doing out of all this 90,000 and 1,50,000? You're learning 1 or 2 languages. You're learning Unix. You're learning some languages. What do you mean by 1 or 2 languages? Verilog, maybe system Verilog. Then you're learning protocols. You're learning one project. That's all. Is this really what you want to spend 1 lakh for this? Are they issuing a BTech or MTech degree to you that you spend 1 lakh and 2 lakhs or 1.5 lakh fee? Definitely no. So you need to be really calculative about what you're spending money. Let's say you go to a shopping mall to buy a jeans. Do you just go and select and go to the shop and buy that? No, right? You try many times, you inquire a lot of things. So this is where you need to spend time understanding, am I really spending money, this much money, is it really worth it? Why am I repeating this? We have seen many cases where students come depressed to us. They would have taken home education loan just to do a training program. To do a 1.5 lakh training program, they would have taken education loan. And it doesn't really come with any job guarantee. Nobody can give you a job guarantee. And then they are depressed. They come to us. I mean, it doesn't, I'm not saying that every student comes to us. I'm sure every institute has positives. I'm sure every institute I'm talking about, a student which charges, a training institute which charges 1.5 lakh, student training institute which charges 90,000, they all provide training support, placement support. We are also providing. But the question is it really worth costing this much just to learn these things? Definitely no. All of these you can learn from many free websites. You go to www.testbench.in, you'll find these things. You go to tutorials.com, tutorials point, you learn this. Protocols, you go to ARM website, you learn this. One project, you go to opencourse.org, you get hundreds of projects. So then, why do we really need to charge 1 lakh? Why do we really need to charge 1.5 lakh? That is where VLSIGuru came in. We wanted to ensure that we keep it affordable, that any student should not worry about pursuing a course just because fee is very high. Again, I am telling, we are not running a charity. It is run for a profit. We make profit in each and every course we do. But we try to ensure that we don't really squeeze a student. That is not we don't want. That is not what we want to do. We want to run really long time. Decades to come, we want to be an institute. And it can only happen by being really transparent, and just by squeezing a student you will run for 1 year, 2 years, third year you are going to fail. We don't want to be that, right? Probably I'm saying too many things about all the institutes, so just I treat this video as a counseling session where this video would give you complete information to make a right decision in choosing a right institute. I mean, at one point, if you ask me, do I really need to undergo training? Answer is no. I mean, do I need to really join a training institute? Answer is no. Because if you can do all these things by yourself, let's say there are a group of 5-6 students, you can all plan by yourself. You don't need to join an institute. You can go to testbench.in, you can learn languages perfectly. I mean, in fact, they may teach better than any institute. In fact, they may teach better than ourselves. I mean, I should not say, but we have our own positives the way we teach. But these websites are also good to learn Unix, to learn protocols, to learn projects. There are websites from where you can do it. If you are really motivated, if you have right attitude and willingness to work hard, you really don't need to join an institute. But then what does institute gives you? Institute gives you a right atmosphere. It gives you the timelines. It gives you, we have a process which is proven for 5-6 years. We have developed that process over 5 to 6 years. That is where, as an institute, we ensure that we make this whole learning process easier. But again, the only question is, just to give you that guidance, do we really need to charge so much money? Do we really need to charge 1.5 lakhs? So that is where we try to keep the fee affordable. Okay. Now, so that is where we are saying we don't try to do any gimmicks like a scholarship or something to make you join, then give you back 10% of the money or like that. Fee is fixed. When we say 20,000, it will be 20,000. It won't be reduced a rupee. It won't be increased a rupee. Every student who plan to take VLSI internship should attend an online assessment test covering digital design, Verilog, and Unix. Internship or training is not about completing advanced topics. It is about being clear with the basics. If you ask any experienced engineer, let's say you find some of your senior who is working in any company in VLSI, Qualcomm, Broadcom, or Aricent, Mirafra, any company, you talk to them, what is really expected of a fresher or one to experienced engineer? Answer will be simple, good understanding of the fundamentals. That's all. They are not expected to be perfect in system verilog, they are not expected to be perfect in UVM. A very good understanding of the fundamentals. What do you mean by fundamentals? As I said, these concepts. Then again, similarly, there will be Verilog concepts also. There will be Verilog training program if you go. You will see that there will be some topics there. They are expected to be perfect with those subjects. This is not what I mean. I want to talk about these things. They're expected to know what is flip-flop, the whole concept of flip-flop, whole concept of counters, whole concept of registers, pattern detector, various aspects. So that is what I mean by fundamentals. Of course, it doesn't mean that you should not learn advanced things. You should. But first, you should be good with fundamentals. And if the candidate does not perform up to the mark in this online test, student has to compulsorily undergo training in VLSI basics course. Unless you are good with basics, you are not allowed to take the advanced course. And it will, of course, we won't charge it very high. It will be offered at a nominal fee so that it is affordable to you. What does this helps us with? This ensures that all the students who are attending a training batch are on par. I mean, we don't want one student to be knowing everything, one student doesn't know what is flip-flop. We don't want to run at that batch. We want to ensure that we take that student who lacks the fundamentals, you train them for 1 month, 1.5 months. Then let him join the next batch. So he will be on par with all the remaining students. That is where a training program runs smoothly. So that is why this whole thing is being done. Next, duration, fee, and session timings. The course, as we discussed, it's a 10 months course. We do 2 sessions per week. Why only two sessions? Generally, they are done on Saturday and Sunday. 4 hours on Saturday, 4 hours on Sunday. Then your next question will be, what will I do for 5 days? Remaining 5 days, what should I do? If there are 2 days only, if you provide training, what will I do 5 days? If you ask me, 5 days is the most important time. That is where you work on assignments. You work on course assignments. You revise the topics covered as part of course. Practice the labs covered in course, and prepare for the evaluation test. In fact, all this has been discussed in the slide. This is how you utilize the time. So you should not, I mean, many of the students ask us, it is only training on weekends, rather I will join some other institute, they will offer training for full week. Again, you will end up joining an institute where you will find a student teaching you who is not able to get a job. Let's say I am a 12-year experienced engineer. Do you think I will take leave on Monday to Friday and will I teach you? No. Let's say there is one 2-year experienced engineer who is working in some company. Do you think he will take leave on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and will come and teach you? No. So if someone is teaching on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, any of these weekdays, that means they are not able to get a job. In many cases, they are not able to get a job. That is where they end up as a part-time trainers in the training institute. And you definitely don't want to be getting trained with those kind of people who couldn't get a job. So that is where we have a plan where we provide the training on Saturday, Sunday completely. The remaining days, students will utilize to work on these aspects. And let me tell you, this is the most important part. Just by attending our sessions, you learn only 20-30% of the things. By doing things by yourself, by preparing by yourself, by making your own notes, you complete the remaining 70% of the work, 70 to 80%. Okay, lab sessions are planned separately in between ongoing sessions. So there will be dedicated lab sessions as well. And 5.5 months remaining focused on industry standard project. It is optional. As I said, people who are undergoing training just for job, they don't need to do it. Mtech second year students can use this as an Mtech project. What is the fee? Classroom training or internship, front end will be 19,000 plus service tax. Of course, that doesn't include Verilog and digital design concepts, unlock design concepts. What does it include? It will include system Verilog, UVM basics, it will include Unix, it will include scripting language training, all those things. Same thing for backend, 26,000 plus service tax. Why is this high compared to front end? Front end tools are relatively cheap to get the license, whereas backend tools cost more. That is where we have to keep this at a higher fee. Of course, fee can be paid in 2 installments. Verilog and digital design training will be chargeable if opted for. Online training internship. It means same training program can be attended in both classroom and online. Students who are based in Delhi, who are based in US, Europe, they can also undergo internship, they can also undergo training. For them, charges will be at 25% premium. That is because it really takes some effort to organize the online sessions, because it's an additional cost. We have to set up VPN. There are many things that we need to do to make the flow smooth for online students who are undergoing online training. Hence, they will be charged at a little premium compared to the classroom courses. Online sessions are done using GoToMeeting live training sessions. So if you ask me, are online training sessions recorded ones? No. There will be a live sessions where all the sessions will be interactive sessions and student will be informed about the timings in advance for all the sessions, and they can plan the training accordingly. Again, the question comes, what if I miss some sessions? You see, 10 months is a really long time. Even for that matter, 4.5 months is a really long time where you may have some personal commitment, you may have to travel sometime. So few sessions you miss, let's say 3 sessions, 4 sessions or 5 sessions you miss during the course will always be covered up through backup sessions. Any sessions you miss more than that, then as said, there will be always new batches happening once every 6 weeks. You can repeat the batches in all those batches. So there is no additional fee charged for that. What are the session timings? Generally, session timings are students attend from various geographical regions. As I said, the students come from, there are some students who attend from US, who attend from Europe, who attend from places outside Bangalore. For those people, the training will be done in such a way that it is comfortable for majority of them. And generally, let's say if I keep the training at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it will be morning 3 o'clock or morning 1 o'clock for a student in US. So for that reason, we ensure that we generally keep the slots in the morning before 12 o'clock. But of course, there could be some sessions which may be running at 2 o'clock also, but we'll try to minimize those things. And what does it mean? Courses are offered once every 6 months. There could be multiple batches running in parallel. So that gives a flexibility to the student to decide which one to join. Let's say he wants to repeat again, he can join. There's no restriction on that. Now course registration. No need to, no, I mean, for course registration, no need of advance fee payment. I have seen many cases where a student goes to an institute, ends up paying 5,000 rupees, and he decides that he doesn't want to pursue the course. He goes back to the institute, give me 5,000. They don't give. I'm sure I have seen many such examples. We don't have any such things. No need of advance fee payment. Just attend the demo session, attend one day as a full demo session. If you like the course, if you like the whole structure, everything, then only register. And when do you register? You register the following day. After attending demo session, the next day you register. And evaluation test is compulsory. Every student who wants to register for the course has to compulsorily undergo evaluation test. Based on that, we suggest the required courses. What courses you need to take? Do you need to undergo training in Verilog? Do you need to undergo training in digital design? Do you need to undergo training in Unix? All those things will be suggested based on this evaluation test. Course highlights. We have been talking a lot about all these courses, timings, everything. What is that really course offers you? Please go through it. So, course highlights. Course is offered by industry experts with relevant expertise. As I said, we are all working professionals who do the training here. Like I have 12 years experience. One of my friend has 15 years experience who does physical design training. For example, for that matter, system Verilog training, we have 4 trainers who are all around 10 plus years experience. They bring in a lot of practical exposure to the complete functional verification. Same is the case with other courses as well. Course progress is tracked through weekly assignments. I mean, for every course we have assignments. Through that we track the course completion, and we use a checklist to ensure that no topic is missed out in the lectures. And there will be dedicated lab session to help student with the queries and assignment completion. I mean, we'll have dedicated lab sessions where we ensure that all the student queries and all the assignments are tracked. I mean, we'll have a sessions where we do the assignments also. And course completion certificate, placement support provided using assignment submission as a criteria. I mean, there are 2 things, not just assignment submission. We have assignments as well as placement support. What is the criteria? One is assignment completion. Does it mean do you need to complete 100% assignment? No, even if you complete 60% of assignments, that is good enough, because that gives you really a lot of confidence. And other than that, once in a month we conduct evaluation tests on Verilog, system Verilog, UVM, DFT, physical design, Unix, all the concepts. We conduct evaluation tests. I mean, it doesn't mean that one test will have everything. No, we'll conduct separate evaluation tests. Based on which students are attending training, they will take those specific exams. We give a grading starting from S to F. Generally, whichever student gets S grade or a student which gets A grade in repeated 2 to 3 months continuously, we directly offer him a job, because they are very good. I mean, if someone is able to get a S grade or A grade in our tests are generally in general will be tough. And if someone student is capable of getting S grade, means we will be offered job immediately. So that's how our tests, placement support works. I mean, it doesn't mean that only they will be placed in only our company. No, we will be providing them interview opportunities in at least 5 to 6 companies if they are freshers. If someone is experienced, we will provide opportunity in at least 15 companies or at least 20 companies. In fact, experienced engineer doesn't require any support. They need a support only in improving their resume. Once their resume is updated and they have enough projects, enough protocols in the resume, they don't require any support from institute. Support is of course required for a fresher. We provide that. But what is really required from the student? That he work with right attitude and put enough hard work. Just don't join and ask for provide support for placement. No, we won't provide unless you do well in these aspects. So coming back to our discussion, so we are talking about course completion support and placement support. So the next aspect, why all courses are offered at a less fee compared to other institute. As I said sometime back, what is the kind of fee we charge for various courses? In general, our courses will be at less than 30%. If that means if a nearest institute charges 100 rupees, our institute would be charging probably 25 to 30 rupees. Again, as I said, we are not running a charity organization. We are not running an NGO here. We still make money. So what is that really drives us? There's a passion to serve the community. I mean, we are all working professionals. All of us have experience. I mean, always everyone has a motivation. I mean, some way they want to contribute to the community. It could be engineering community, different communities. People who work in this institute, they want to serve the community from where they have really come up. And the institute is done in the own facility. It is owned by the training institute. There is no cost of rent. Lesser licensing cost. Generally, we have contacts in the companies. It helps us get the license at a relatively lesser cost. It doesn't mean that we get them for free. They do cost us, but they don't cost high. And institute is not the major reason is what? Institute is not the main source of income for any trainer. In general, you will see that any trainer who is working in the institute, randomly he may be having a minimum of 30 lakhs salary. Just an example, randomly. So do you think they need to depend upon few thousands they are going to make out of a session here? Probably no, right? So mostly they are driven by passion. Of course, whatever they earn in that by doing a session is also additional income, but that is not the only reason why they do. They enjoy it. So it means institute is not the only source of income from any of us. So it is where we try to keep the fee less. If you have any other queries, if not just this, you can go to our frequently asked questions in the website. That is where you'll find all the queries being addressed. General queries like how is it different from, how training is different from other institute, how this will benefit a working professionals or BTech Mtech freshers. Why do you offer the training at a lesser cost? Is it feasible to really complete so many things in 4.5 months? There are many courses, many institutes are offering training in complete flow. You go to some institute, they'll teach you everything, but nothing good. They'll teach you only what is architecture, what is design, what is verification, but they won't teach you anything perfectly. So is this what you really need to learn? No. So is there any placement assistance? Why you are not offering course in FPJ? Why are you doing only an ASIC flow? What if few sessions are missed in the course? Does the center provide any certification after course completion? Why you are offering at a lesser fee when everyone else is charging 1 lakh, 1.4 lakh, 60,000, 70,000, 90,000? Any other queries? So all these queries, if you go to anything, you will get the correct corresponding answer for each of them. So we request you to go through that link in case you need more information. So please make a note of this. In case you are in middle of presentation and you want to go through this link, you can go through this afterwards. VLSIGuru.com FAQs. Next, trainer profile. I was talking about the trainer, and generally all the trainers are working with it out of passion. So where do the trainer come from? Generally, trainers have an average work experience of 10 years minimum, and more than 4 trainers handling a VLSI internship. And same trainer will do the complete course. Let's say someone is teaching system LR, we try to ensure that the same trainer will complete the complete system LR course. In general, given our context, we are able to get the people who are from IIT and NIT. It doesn't mean that only people from these institutes are capable of teaching. No, just that it's our contacts. We have some contacts, they come. Of course, we have many people who are from other universities, they do very well. Student guidelines. I mean, among all the things, what is the most important thing? Student having his own guidelines, his own process to ensure that he learns everything in a planned manner. So that is where we have some guidelines from our side. So what are the guidelines? Most of the courses are offered during Saturday and Sunday. So they have to plan Saturday, Sunday to attend the trainings. And Monday to Friday, they need to ensure that they should plan in such a way that they revise the topics that have been covered as part of the course in that week, work on the assignments, complete the labs, and prepare for evaluation tests. It looks list looks long, but because we are talking about 5 days with the proper planning, it can be done easily. Student, I mean, what does it mean? 8 hours of training per week. Students should spend 2 hours on self-learning per every hour of training attended. But what does it mean? Is if you are doing a system VLSI course, it generally goes for 10 weeks. Each week, 8 hours of training. So is this where your training will complete? No. Minimum you need to spend at least 16 hours of self-learning. Why this much time is required is you need to revise the concepts that have been covered in the sessions. You need to make notes on top of what trainer is sharing. Trainer will share notes for every topic. On top of that, you need to prepare your own notes. Keep timelines for preparation, try to meet those. I mean, coming back to the other guide, we'll come to the other guidelines, but to do these things, importantly, to complete the assignments, to revise the concept, to make your own notes, to practice the examples, you need another 16 hours. And when should you really go for VLSI training or VLSI internship? Only when you have this much time. If not 12 hours, at least 12 hours. If not 16 hours, at least 12 hours time. That is, you should be able to take out at least 2 hours every day for doing the self-learning. If you are not able to do that, then your preparation is not complete. Let's say you are not able to spend, you are only able to spend 4 hours per week. Then you should not come to the training institute asking for placements because you are not doing the required things from your side. Once you do this, and if you still don't get a job, we are questionable for that. We can be questioned. I did this, where is job? We will find a solution. I mean, it's all, I mean, I'm sure if you are doing this, you will get a job. As I said before, in 5 to 6 years of our training institute history, we have never seen a student, at least 99% of the student, maybe 1% will always be there. We have never seen a case where student has gone back without job. Just a matter of time. Some cases it may have taken 5 months, it may have taken 8 months, but they will definitely get a job. Okay, what else? What are the other guidelines? Keep timelines for preparation. Try to meet those. You need to prioritize the things, right things. I mean, you can't keep preparing on Verilog for 6 months. You can't keep preparing on digital design for 1 year. You can't keep preparing on system Verilog for 12 months. You need to ensure that you give equal importance to the required subject, required things. You plan the preparation. You complete those things. You mix with other students. You know what they are doing, how they are preparing. Then you plan your preparation. Ideally, most importantly, do not worry about job for initial 3 months. The first thing that every student comes to us, asks us is, where is the job? I mean, will I get a placement support? My answer is, first for initial 3 months, do not worry about job. Focus only on learning subject. Job will automatically follow. I mean, it looks simple. As a trainer, I can say 100 things, but this is what is the truth. You need to focus on learning for 3 months. You need to learn the subject. You need to forget about job. Then automatically job comes. Just that it matter of another 3 months. It may take another 4 months. I'm sure it will definitely work. And what is the next thing? Complete assignments as per the schedule. I mean, this is where you will use this time. I mean, this is how you plan your self-learning time and overall preparation. Come to the institute during weekdays. Have discussion with other students, practice the labs, work on assignments, repeat any course as required. You can always repeat a course. Let's say you did system VLSI, you are not able to follow. There is always a provision to repeat the course. Prepare for monthly evaluation test, analyze the test results. Why do you really take evaluation tests? Not because you just want to get a placement support. No, that is because you need to analyze your preparation. Where are you going wrong? Let's say if I conduct an evaluation test, a student gets C grade. Should he be happy with C grade every month he takes exam? No. Next month, I definitely want him to get a B grade. Next month, I want him to get a grade. That is what is expected of this evaluation test. We want a student to analyze the evaluation test. Where did he go wrong? Did he not have enough time, or did he complete the preparation, or any other reason? So there is always a reason, right? If you are getting a E grade, if you are failing in an exam, there is something you are not understanding the subject, or you are not spending enough time. So you need to really understand that. Then if you think that there is some support institute can provide, we are always will be willing to help you with that. And of course, other than doing all these things, pursue some free time on some hobby. I mean, life is not just about VLSI. Life is not just about uh, getting a job. It's all about pursuing some free time so that you keep yourself fresh every week, right? It helps you take out the pressure. Okay. Course is, I mean, coming back to the other things, course is process oriented, starting from admission, prerequisite training, student assessment, everything is process oriented. You can find more student guidelines in this link. So that it will talk about student guidelines for our students, VLSIGuru students. Once you register for the course, of course, these are the guidelines for you. There is a set of around 13, 14 guidelines that you can go through it and get the complete overview. So in case you are watching this video, please make a note of this link as well, student-guidelines. You can go through this link afterwards. Next, what is the course material that is offered? I mean, of course, course material, documents, projects, everything is a very important aspect of the course. You really don't want to be searching, going to the Google and searching everything. Rather, you want all the support from institute. That is where we provide all the support. If you undergo, let's say, front-end training, what do you get? Let's say in system verilog training itself, you get course material. You get course page access where everything is put up. All the assignments, labs, notes, everything is set up. Assignments, it is there in the course page. Labs, course checklist, tool access will be provided through VPN. How to use the tool, how to use GVim editor, how to use the course material, how to update the resume, session notes. Every session there will be notes, interview questions, labs from every week sessions, and video access, posting questions, student guidelines. I mean, these are things that you get in SV course. Like that, there will be things that will be shared for Verilog course, UVM course, every course that you do, there will be this kind of support is what you get as part of course material. If you talk specifically in system verilog course material, what do you get? You get all these things. If you take UVM, what do you get? All these things you get. Again, of course, it depends upon what courses you do, but we try to ensure that you have minimal dependency on other resources. I mean, everything we try to provide from the institute side itself. Of course, if you see system verilog, VIP code, digital design document, Ethernet project, interview questions, memory controller project, lot of things you get as part of the course material. Same thing for UVM as well. Similarly, we have course material for Verilog also. In Verilog, every small examples are being solved. All those things you get as part of course material. Does it mean that we provide it and ask you to go through the things? No, everything is done in the course. I'm sure if you see the dates, they have been developed as part of the course and they'll be shared. So every batch we try to do most of this example and share the codes with the students. Similarly for backend also, there will be courses like physical design. I should have put a tab for DFT. I should have put a tab for custom layout. For everything, there will be corresponding PPTs, documents, everything will be shared to the student. Next, practical aspects in the project. Practical aspects. So, I mean, you are coming to an institute because you want to get something which you really don't get in the internet, which you get for free. Like if you go to test bench, they only teach you system verilog language. They don't really teach you industry standard projects. They don't teach you how to approach that project. They don't teach you how to develop step by step that project, how to develop test cases. They don't give you access to the tool. That is where training as a training institute, VLSIGuru tries to fill that gap. So as part of the VLSI front-end flow, you will be working on 3 hands-on projects totally, and all of them are industry standard, and 1 mini project. It is just to learn the languages. What does it give you? I mean, what does this practical aspect involve? You will get access to mentor graphics and cadence tools through VPN. Generally, we follow one specific flow that is followed in the industry for every project execution, starting from reading spec, feature listing down, scenario listing down, test plan, functional coverage definition, test bench architecture, test bench component coding, test case development, regression setup, closing the verification. That whole flow will be followed. On top of that, let's say you want to do more projects. You can do these projects at a nominal fee. Let's say you want to do these projects as part of your Mtech projects. You will get support. As I said before, you will be provided support based on how much effort you put, and there will be minimal charges based on how does that whole interaction work. Do you do complete work, or you want mentor to do complete work? So it's an overview of what is the practical aspects, hands-on projects that we do in the front end. Similarly, back end also will have corresponding projects. 2 hands-on project, 1 mini project, project execution flow starting from synthesis to PNR GDS2 for both projects, to all the 3 projects at 28 nanometer, or if not 28, maybe 45 nm. But we are doing currently at 28 nm. Students will get access to the Cadence tools through VPN. Next, job opportunities. As an institute, we have tied up with the various VLSI companies. We have placed more than 300 engineers since training started in 2012. I mean, I can't say 300 or 400 or 500. What we do is, as an institute, we keep track of the students who require job support through one link, job support student list. What is that? It's a one common page where we keep track of all the student names and their degree and their category, and these are the only students who at current point of time who require job support. There's no one else in our institute. Probably another 3-4 names might be there, but other than this, no one else requires job support. Does it mean that, let's say if I read this, since January 2006, 450 students including freshers and experienced engineers have undergone training in VLS Institute. Below are the list of students who have left with support for jobs. All others are placed either through institute placement support or through job portals. What does it mean is, if 450 are there, how many are there? If you see the numbers, you may see overall 35 numbers. Overall 35 names might be there overall here. Or maybe if you add some students, we might have missed out in the list 40 students because they didn't approach for us for job. 40 students, let's say. Does it mean that 410 students we placed? No. Many of them have found jobs themselves. That is what our training has enabled them. Of course, some of them are experienced people. As I said before, experienced engineers, I don't need to provide any support. As soon as they put their resume, they get 10 calls. But in freshers also, we have provided support. But we are, of course, working on all these people's resume. Recently, we have placed 3 people just among this list. So that kind of update, I mean, that kind of type we have with the industry. So we keep sending our candidates to the various walk-ins. When a student gets entitled to placement support, it is based on their performance in the course assignments and evaluation test. As I said, once they do well in the assignments and evaluation test, they are entitled for the placement support. As the internship involves 70 assignments, they need to work on at least 50 to 60% of assignment to be eligible for the placement support. And they should complete, that is 50 to 60% assignment, and they should do well in the evaluation tests that are conducted once every month. And sometimes those test performance itself will be directly used as a criteria to provide placement support. Next, post-course completion support. I have completed training in April 2017. Will I get support for the course in May 2017? Next month, after 6 months? Yes, you will get. Because the fee that is being charged to you is not just for that 4.5 months or 3 months. It is for the support post-course completion as well. So what does it mean? What kind of support do you get? Student can repeat the 4.5 months course training program anytime within next 1 year. Let's say you complete in April 2017, let's say you would have started training in January. Till December 2017, you can repeat the course with no additional fee. You will not be asked why are you repeating the course also. Every student, generally, what kind of other support do you get? Every student is assigned with a mentor. Generally, these mentors are previous students of VLSIGuru currently working in the industry. And those mentors will help with the doubt clarification. Does it mean that you won't get any guidance from trainer? Yes, no. You will get the guidance from trainers as well. But trainer might be busy with many other tasks. So that is where a dedicated mentor will help you. And of course, backup sessions for missed sessions. You miss some session and you want support, you can join those sessions. You can repeat a course. You can come to us for doubt clarification. All the support will be there. What we are trying to say is the support or our relation to the student does not end at 4.5 months. It will be there even after the course completion. It is just how much support student needs. Next, what are the various other courses offered at VLSI Guru? We offer courses in front end, back end. Probably if I go by that whole thing, VLSI Guru is probably the biggest training institute in India. Why would I say it's the biggest training institute? Is it by the amount of money we are making as an institute? No. Probably we may not be making as much money as what 1 lakh institute which charges 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh or 70,000, because our 5 students is equal to what we make from 6-7 student is equal to what they make from one student. But last year we trained around 350 students. In 2017 we might probably train anywhere between 500 to 600 students. To our knowledge, we don't see any institute training so many students, not even half of them. That is what makes VLSI Guru Institute a #1 training institute by going by the number of students trained in a year. Okay, so where do we really have so many students joining? We offer courses in various things: Verilog, System Verilog, UVM, VLSI training for completely, System C, Standard Protocol, various backend courses like System Synthesis STA, Physical Design, DFT, physical verification, post and pre-silicon validation, custom layout. All this added together will make around 600 students for us. That is what we are predicting. There could be minimum 500 students in this year. So as I said in the beginning of this video, don't blindly go for System Verilog course. Don't blindly go for Verilog. Don't blindly go for UVM. Pursue the complete thing. Just see which is the domain that is interesting for you and choose that course. If I'm saying physical design, don't think that physical design doesn't have any jobs. In fact, at one point you will see that physical design is where you have better chances, because in whole Bangalore there are only 3 or 4 institutes which offer training in physical design. Now tell me, where do you stand good chances? For System Verilog, there are 20 institutes which offer training. So you always have a better chance of finding a job in physical design. But does it mean that you should do a course in physical design? No. You should do a course in a domain which is interesting for you. Because it's not a matter of 1 year or 2 years, it's a matter of your complete career. So that is where you have to choose the right domain. You talk to your senior, people who are working in the industry, understand the flow. They don't give right suggestion. Don't go by just what they said blindly. You do your homework, you talk to many people, then make a decision. Other clarifications, office timings, how to reach. If you need any clarification, you send a mail to contact@vlsiguru.com. We are available on phone and WhatsApp on this number 9986194191. You can call us anytime. And what are the institute timings? The institute is open from 6 in the morning till 9 in the night, 9 in the night, all days. There is no holiday on Sunday, nothing like that. You can come anytime for practicing, to talk to us anytime. You can come. Where is the institute located? Institute is at this address. It is in Horomavu, Bangalore 43. Where is this Horomavu? How do you reach institute easily? Just search VLSI Guru Training Institute in the Google Maps. You will find the exact location. It is mapped in the Google Maps. Where is the institute? Institute is at 200 meters from Vijay Bank Colony bus stop. It is on Outer Ring Road. Where is this stop? It is a stop between Ramurthy Nagar Bridge and Horomavu Bridge on Outer Ring Road. It will be approximately 12 kilometers from Marthalli Bridge, maybe 10 or 12 kilometers from Marthalli Bridge. If you are coming on a Saturday or Sunday, it may take hardly 15-20 minutes for you to reach from Marthalli Bridge, because traffic will be very minimal during those days. And how do you come by bus? If you catch a bus that goes from Marthalli to Hebbal, you need to get down at this bus stop. It will be around 3rd bus stop of the tin factory. That is where you get down and reach the institute. And once you get down from there, it's just 200 minutes walk. So I hope this video gave you a good picture of various aspects of the training or internship at the VLSI Guru. Having said that, we are not saying that you join our institute, you will get a job 100%. There is no such thing. It all comes down to these 2 things, where what is your motivation level, what is your attitude, and how much effort you are willing to put. More you have all of these, more better attitude, more willingness to put effort, more you are motivated, you will find it quite easy to get into the industry. And one to close, to just to end, one last thing, there's a general conception among students that VLSI is tough, finding job in VLSI is difficult. Answer is no. Answer is that VLSI is not tough. Getting job in VLSI is also not difficult. Just that you need to go with the right attitude. I mean, for that matter, getting job in every domain is difficult. You need a right attitude. Probably you need a right guidance. That is what, as an institute, we are trying to provide you. Thank you. So please write to us at this mail ID for any further clarifications.